All right, you guys, how you doing? This is Tobias from Noematic Elevation. I told you I was going to keep dope people coming over and interviewing, and I got my brother Dave Howard here. He has some crypto products, and he also does credit and everything. So I just want to introduce you guys to some different people that we rock with behind the scenes, and start introducing you to some different information that you may not have heard or you may have heard, but from a different perspective. How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing great today, man. How you doing, Tobias? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, it's always a pleasure, man. I know we don't get to get together like we used to. We be moving and grooving, man. But it's good to see you.
Yes.
You want to tell everybody what you're up to, man, and get into it.
Well, right now, it's just basically the crypto space. A lot of education out there, a lot of different gurus out there. And I'll just tell you this: it's still too new to someone to say that they're an expert in it, because it's really no experts in it, but it's a lot of innovation and it's a lot of learning out there. And it's just like um, there's many ways that you can actually create money or exchange money, and it's like a medium of exchange, just like you can give $100 out many ways. You can give it out by a debit card. You can give it out by a prepaid card. You can write a negotiable instrument. You can write up a loan. You can have a silver dollar, 100 silver dollars, or you can have a check, a certified check. And so basically, it's just learning how to transition that into the crypto space. Like a bank there's different banks that carry fiat currency, and with cryptocurrency, the different banks are the different wallets that you may have, and usually they have an exchange with it. There's some that you can just deposit and exchange within, and it may not be hooked up to a banking system. That's just by way of credit card or debit card to actually transfer money onto the platform, such as a crypto.com, a Coinbase, different ones of such. And so I'm here to talk about a couple of platforms that you can profit off of, and you can grow your money. And that's the key, is to growing your money. There's a lot of us that, we know how to make money, but okay, let's just say, and I joke about this all the time. I say, if you want to do a fish fry over the weekend, and man, I can make 10 up to 3, 4, $5,000 easy. Okay, once you get that, now what do you do with that money? What do you do with it? Okay, I can work overtime and I can get time and a half, triple time, all that stuff. Okay, what do you do with that money? How do you grow that money? Because over the lifetime, some people have said it in the past, but if I made at least $1 million over my lifetime, or a short period of time in a 20-year period, man, what if I could have put some of that away where it's way more worth than $1 million today? And so I found a platform that does that, and it's a company. It's called Novatech. Um, it's basically a hedge fund that was created in the United States. It's in Florida, and FinCEN, basically ran by the Treasury Department, and it verifies the different programs and if they're legit. And so they have to have accountability, and so that's pretty good. The company has been around for at least 4 years, and officially, as far as putting the program together, where they brought the hedge fund out, and they use binary options by way of the forex exchange. So they trade. They're professional traders, and they use AI robots, or ARRA, which is robo assistants. And basically, that just means that they use robots. Like banks, they trade your money when you put it into the bank. That's called factoring. and they trade on the stock market, they trade on the forex exchange, and then also you'll have insurance companies. They do the same thing, and so most of them are using robots to actually trade the money, and
So
they
so that's why it's moving so fast, like on the stock market, where me and you may not be able to trade as fast as them to get a better opportunity on a price point, right?
correct, correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Sort of like, the sharks swim with the sharks. You're
Hmm.
not trying to get the main prey, but hey, you may get some leftovers, which is quite lucrative. And knowing that helps you come into the game a little more prepared, and you're able to eat as well. So there's a lot of different people getting into robots, and they're learning how to use them with indicators, which tell you when to strike, when to pull out. I mean, then if you're used to the term pips, that's just like a time deviation in how you want to trade. It could be 15-second, 30-second, hour, day trades, weekly. That's the time frame. And so it's just getting used to it. And we can learn technicals of trading in the Forex exchange, because the Forex is the biggest financial market on planet Earth. And it outweighs all the stock markets of the world. It's kind of like that hidden secret that people go with. Go ahead.
And then just so everybody understands what he's talking about, the forex exchange, like we have stocks on the stock market. The forex exchange is you're trading currency. So the United States has the dollar, you got the yuan, the yen, the euro. Those actually trade on a separate market like the stock market. Just for those of you guys who may not understand what the forex market is, and it's open just like the stock market. I think it's 24 hours, isn't it? You can correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, you trade it
Forex is
24 hours.
7 days a week. Well, actually, it's 5 days, but then cryptocurrency trading is 24/7, 365.
There you go.
Yeah. So sometimes companies they put out a better product by offering two. So they'll trade 24/7, 365 with the cryptocurrency, and then they do the forex, which pretty much gives you like a nice double impact. Yeah. So when we're learning it, don't be afraid of it, but just embrace it and get familiar with it. And so what I liked about the company Novatech, they do that, plus they mine also. Now, earlier when people started mining businesses, you get paid in cryptocurrency by way of Bitcoin. And so when you're mining, pretty much taking transactions, for everything that you see on blockchain, it can't lie. That's why a lot of people are gravitating towards it. You can't manipulate it. You have NFTs that are part of it. You're hearing that a lot. And it's just like if you had the Mona Lisa and you were the creator of Mona Lisa, there's a lot of fraudulent ones out there. Well, this will definitely um, give you the accuracy that it is yours if that's what you've actually purchased, by the way. So, getting back into the basics of it, the company is called Novatech, and it's been around for about 4 years, and technically, and then they've just had their 3-year anniversary of the combination of how they put it together with the hedge fund, the trading, and they put a system together regarding referral basis, which is affiliate marketing, some say network marketing, different things like that of such. What I like about it is that it has different components to it. If you just decide, okay, hey, I just want to put 25,000 away, and I just want it to grow. You can do that, and it's in a hedge fund. So a hedge fund, if you don't not familiar, it's a lot of money being traded, and a lot of people hedge fund they usually start at 250,000 and up. If you don't have that, it's a no-go. So there's companies that are getting creative with getting people's money together, just like they do as a 401k. They get employees together and they said, oh, you know what? We can actually trade your money and grow your money over the period of time, and you'll come out better in 30, 40 years. That's what they're telling your employee about your money that's being invested in the market on their behalf. And they're actually giving you a smidget of income. And so that's when Novatech came into play. Because I said, look, if you put the money over here, we're going to grow it on average 3% weekly. Now, with the principal, you keep the principal in and you live off the interest. And that's what the wealthy do when they start building up their nest eggs. And they say, okay, let me leave the goose. The goose is the pot. The goose is the money, the main strain, or the principal. So when the principal is there, every week, Novatech pays you on average 3%. I've seen it as high as 4.2%. I've seen it as low as during the Ukraine war, close to 1%. And then when the markets crashed, just under 1%. And then the next week, it came up above 1%. The following week, 2.5%. The next week, 3.0. And then the next week, 4.0. So while all of this stuff was going on, Novatech, we were eating over here. We were getting our consistent payoffs. They haven't missed a payment since 2020 October when they started that part of the platform. And so that was pretty exciting to me. There's a lot of other platforms out there. And what we teach in our group is just basically, of course, financial literacy, but how to grow your money, how to have different streams of income. Because I always said, if your money's not dancing, it's not doing anything. It's just sitting there doing nothing. It's not working for you. So, we joke about it, we say, hey, man, if the money's not twerking, it's not working. And that's just it's growing somewhere. And so we have different platforms. And the main key one that I'm really sold on is Novatech. And so I'll go a little in detail with Novatech. And the owner, named Cynthia Petion, pretty dynamic woman, and her husband, both of them doing things together. They're familiar with the network marketing or affiliate program that you see around the world. And then they're familiar with trading. They're professional traders, and they have actual robots that they actually trade with. They monitor them. Never let anybody say that you can just set it and forget it. As she would say, it's like a crock pot. You still have to check on it once in a while.
Yeah, because those bots and stuff, they have to be programmed, right? You get a basic bot, but you have to program them for what you want them to do, and that's what they're doing over there at Novatech. From understanding what you're saying, because this is new to me too, so I'm getting an education right along with you guys. It's pretty dope.
That's kind of dope because if you guys know Tobias, he's well rounded in some heavy stuff, and he's a teacher, educator, father, husband, 3 beautiful children, and so he's pretty much a man of he doesn't. As I'll say it in one way, he's a man of his word, and then he doesn't fool around with mess. If you get what I'm saying. So for him to say that I'm in a student mode, that's pretty awesome. I'm always in that mode because I'm always wanting to learn, and so just getting back to what we were saying, don't worry about trying to catch all this at one time because some of you guys may be interested in getting involved with this. And we'll have all that in the chat box where you could get the link and then get more information on it. And so I'll start off with a screen share and okay, there we go. Here is the Forex compounding calculator, and it's for the Forex exchange. So when you get these numbers, um, don't flip out and say, wow, how'd that happen? Well, that's what kind of money. It's like about maybe 5 to 6 trillion that's made every day in the Forex exchange. So you can imagine that there's a lot of potential and creating an income. And on low key, if I'd say this, if 40% of the world knew how to trade in the Forex, that'll conquer world hunger. That's just my little inclination on it. But in this example, we're going to show you how you can start with $1,000. And let's say at 3% on average, and then you have the weekly. You get 3% weekly. And let's just go 5 years. 5 years is just a good number. If someone's saying, I want to retire in 5 years. Well, let's see what this does. And then it compounds weekly. And so let's just do the figures, do the calculation. And in 5 years at 3%, you get a cool 2.1 million. So that's pretty exciting. And that's called compounding and leveraging. Now, if we go down to the projection breakdown, that's like 3,600 extra on top of your 1,000 at the end of the year. Year 2, it's an extra 16,000 on top of your trading balance. That's the side that you see in the blue. And then the 3rd year, you make 78,000, and putting that back on top of the principal, now you have over 100,000 3 years later that's being traded. And then all of a sudden you're making 367,286.79. So that's what you're making on that yearly basis. Now, you notice that your trading balance has increased because you redeposited everything back onto the principal. Now, let's break this down on a monthly basis. And if you see the monthly, the first month is $136. Not a whole lot, but let me see. You can probably get some Jordans with, no, you can't get any Jordans with that because the Jordan's about $250. Okay, so let's just go on to the next one. But when you start to look at it, you add that to the principal, the 3% becomes the increase. And then after that, you add that. 3rd month, you're at 176. Now all of a sudden, you're on the 4th month, which is basically after 90 days, there is a 15% fee if you grab out of the principal. So after 90 days, you're clearing free of that. And then at that point, you're making about $200 a month, but they pay you weekly. So that's, in this example, at $200. That's literally about $50? Yeah, $50 a week. So that's kind of cool. So I just looked at the compounding. Then you get to year 1. You have that. Your principal has pretty much 4x, 4 times it was worth in the beginning. And then, like I said, you start going to the 2nd year. And then the 3rd year is when it looks kind of nice, because now you're putting about $12 a month. And, that's about 3,000 a week. And in this case, when you get the 3,000 per week, you can withdraw that, and it'll be available 24 hours from the platform to your cryptocurrency wallet, such as a Coinbase, a crypto.com, Exodus, a MetaMask, Trust Wallet, different wallets out there that you'd be able to use. And so as this starts to compound, that's the beauty of this. And so by putting all this money back in, you're probably looking at the trading balance of 2.1 million. But then if you leave it there, you'll continue to make this per month, the 261,619.56 cents. So that's
this is this is basically set up to where if you're just not touching it and just letting it sit and reinvest and compound, this is what you would end up with in that 60 months, right?
Correct, correct. And so I just tell people that that's exactly what you're doing with your 401k. You're sitting there and you're letting them work it for you. Now, imagine this. I said they're giving us 3%. So let's flip it. And let's just say 97%. People say, well, what are they getting? Well, it doesn't really matter because they're okay with it. But let's just do the numbers with 97%. So we do it with 97%. And you notice that the numbers don't stop out of the screen, off the chart. Okay. So it doesn't end. It's kind of like, but I'm waiting for, I don't even know what to call that number. I don't know what to call that number. I'm not. They're making a lot of money in this industry. And so what I like about Novatech, yeah, they're making a lot of money. Well, they're doing better than the banks. Let's just do that. And a lot of your 401ks, they're doing a lot better than that. And this is not to compare, it's just to give you information so that you can make an informed decision. And I go back to the 3%, but let's just say in general, you say, you know what, I'm going to add on average, I'm going to add about $500 a month, or we can just do $400. That's $100 a week. So let's just add that in addition and see, remember it was 2.1 million just with $1,000 by itself. But let's just say we're actively investing and actively participating. So I'll calculate that. And from 2.1 mil, we got 8.5 million. And so if we go down and we look at the numbers, we start putting the numbers back into play. And we go monthly. Now we can see that 136, all of a sudden it turns into 536 when we add it back to the principal. Now 136 becomes 209 plus the 400. Now, as you see, it's getting a little better. And by the time you hit a year, now you're making about 1,700 a month. And you have 15,000 that has accumulated. And so as I start to look at this, I just start realizing that how it compounds makes a lot of sense. So in 2 years, you're making around close to $10,000 a month. Now, of course, you can play with your own numbers, but remember, when you fatten up the goose is the trading balance. So I tell people, if they come in with a certain amount, and some people, I came in myself with over 25,000. And the reason I did that was because I was trying to figure out a way how I can induce my own income. So I moved around from the stock market, sold all my cryptocurrency because it was going up and down. It was too volatile based on what I want to do. And then they trade the money for you. So as long as it's on their platform, it's not volatile at all. And I'll share an example with you. And this is what I was doing when I started. I said, well, what do I need to make? I said, I want to make $20,000 a month. So I said, what would that take? Putting it in this calculator. And I said, okay, the monthly contribution, that's zeroed out. So I said, well, let me do 25,000 and do it 3%. And then I calculated it. So I got 54 mil on that. And I said, I don't look at that. I go down to the monthly and weekly projection breakdown. So let's do the monthly. So as you can see, the 25,000 generates $3,416. Can you see this calculator moving, Tobias?
Yep, I can see.
Okay. Okay, so I got that in there. And so I'm going to do 3416 divided by 4 weeks. That equals a cool $854 that you get from a monthly basis. So I said, well, I wanted to at least be making 20,000. So I wanted to be making what week 15 merit. So I said, well, let me see how I can do that. So what I did was I moved about for my different accounts about 104,000 over. So I said, let me see what that looks like. So I did 104,000. And then I did the math. I did it, I calculated it, and this is what I got, now monthly basis. So I said, if I put it in 90 days, I'll have full access to my trading balance, which is what you see in the blue highlights. So I put the 14,000 back in on top of it. I just kept depositing on top of my balance, my principal. And then in 90 days, this is what it looked like, 120 days. So, got it to a point where I was making about 20 to 30 in that. Now, I was growing my money because I wanted to, get into other investments, to spread the risk in different sectors so that you can always be balanced or you can grow to that. And so that's where mine started to end up at. And then this is just my money sitting. This is about bringing anyone in. We call that passive. So this is passive right here. And, I said, well, about 90 days, I just was focused on it, start sharing it and aggressively just putting my money into spots that were not moving in the different markets and placed it over in the Novatech. An example, I used one of my friends. I said, hey, you should let Novatech trade your Bitcoin. We had 2 and a couple of Ethereums. He said, well, I'll hold off and just see. I said, okay, that's cool. So it was at 50,000, and about maybe 6 weeks later, it went down to 32. So his portfolio went down 16,000. Top of mine's 18,000. And so that's because within this platform, it's not volatile because it's being traded. And I put my money in there, it doesn't go up and down. If I put 20,000 in there, if I put $1,000 in there, it stays 1,000. And so we have different coins that you can actually trade off or transfer to your account. So you can use the ERC 20. And that's basically a coin that resembles the dollar. So it's called a stable coin. And so there's a lot of exchanges and coins that are coming up with a coin to match the dollar so that it can stay stable and it won't be susceptible to the volatility that the market goes.
So when you say that it's matches the dollar, so it follows it's like pegged to the dollar. So what the dollar does, they make sure that they stay level, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And well, I'll show you an example. I can simply do something like this. Let me see. What's the price of Bitcoin now?
The answer is $23,814.51.
Okay, so if I was to do that 5 minutes later, it would most likely be a different number. So when you hear it's a tether, it's like $1. When you hear that, it's saying that $1 doesn't make a movement. It's not volatile. So sometimes if people trade their currency or transfer it to one wallet to another, remember a cryptocurrency wallet is like a cryptocurrency bank. And so it could change its price. It could be, worth 23,000 now, and in an hour it might be 20,000. So that's why people use stable coins so that they can at least hold their value as long as they can hold it. But the dollar, the USD tether, it will probably go $99.99. Then it'll go up $1 1 cent. So it stays in that range. So that gives you a little more time to make movement, or you may set it there until you're ready to go. Because some platforms require that you use Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and those are just like the popular ones that first came out. And you have Bitcoin Cash in some instances. And so that's a plus, though. And so I just want you guys to get familiar with the calculator. So I started to do these numbers. I started realizing what I needed to have in there. And then that way, I've just supplemented my income. So whatever you have over in whatever area you have it, if it's in a 401k or retirement plan, or you just have it sitting around in crypto waiting for that crypto to go back up. You might be cost averaging, but I say, why not let your money dance? Let it dance over here and it'll increase by that time. And so, that's the key right there as far as leveraging. Now, I'll show you the site, which is basically the Novatech site, right here. And this is Novatech. Like I said, it's been around for a minute. And so I'm just going to let you hear a quick short video. It's about no more than 3 minutes, but it's the owner, Cynthia Pettyon, just talking about where the company is and what it does.
Hello and welcome. My name is Cynthia Pettyon. I am the CEO and one of the founders here at Novatech. And I'd like to first say thank you for taking a moment of your time to learn more about our business plans. And a very special thank you to whoever introduced you to this opportunity, as well as to our leaders around the world who are taking time out of their day every day to share this opportunity with communities like mine and yours so that we can spread the good vision of Novatech. Now, I'd like to ask you one simple question before we get started. Have you ever heard this before? I will never do another online business ever again. Well, if you have, you're not alone. We've heard it many times ourselves, and we understand how you feel. And perhaps maybe you were the one who said it yourself. Well, we hope we can change that. And we'd like to offer you maybe a little glimmer of hope or a better opportunity that you couldn't find before. And it's the reason why my partners and I got together back in June of 2019 to build Novatech. We are a registered broker with MetaTrader offering a Forex and cryptocurrency trading platform. Currently, we offer a couple of different styles of accounts, including a PAM account, which is our pool asset management account. And this allows passive investors or those who don't necessarily know how to trade the ability to invest in one of our master accounts and allow Novatech to trade on your behalf. Now, we also have our MT5 accounts, and this is for people who want to be able to trade on their own. And you can trade whether you are a skilled trader or a novice trader, or open up a demo account just to test it out first. But you can go ahead and trade on our platform with very low commissions and spreads and be able to earn income on your own without any intervention from us. And recently, we offered a very exciting program, which is to help you get paid as you trade. And this program was introduced as a pilot program for people who want to trade professionally with a reputable and reliable trading platform. And it offers you a 30-day testing period with Novatech, where you can actually test your own trading skills and possibly get paid to trade. Finally, we have something that we can call our own, something that we're extremely proud of. We've built a program and a strong foundation that is not only sustainable, but profitable. So guys, this ends my time here with you. I hope to be able to see more of you. And if you have any questions, please reach out at any time. We have our help desk support available at contact@novatechfx.io, and hope to see you soon.
Yeah, so when we look at that, so it's been around, it's proven, time tested, and in the back office, they have training videos, and so how you can go about building the business, and then she does a in-depth presentation about what the company is about and the intricacies of building it. Then if you decide, hey, I want to do the trading as well, then that's when you would go and do the download of a MetaTrader 5 accounts, and you know, how to navigate this office, you know, how to upgrade, which is basically putting money on the platform, and then how to take money off the platform, and then the holding tank, and then sometimes he goes into ways of benefiting, of actually building the team. So I like that because it's educational. Now with this video, this is the 30 seconds. I just want you to get an idea of what she's
Everyone,
talking about.
Cynthia Pettion here with Novatech, and today we're going to be going over your genealogy tree, how to build your downlines and use the holding tank. So Novatech uses a hybrid version of a unilevel. Now, typically with a unilevel, every single person you sign up goes on your first level. All right, and that can be a little problematic sometimes because although it's a very simple model to learn and build on, you don't really create much synergy between your teams because every single time you enroll somebody.
So I said 30 seconds, and that's the key that she talks about. If you are a multi-level market person or an affiliate program, I mean, everybody has an affiliate program. Bank of America, they have affiliate program because they know that the best form of advertisement is word of mouth. And so the companies that have this, the kicker is, oh, you have to get a lot of friends and all that stuff in. Well, that's with anything, because you'll talk about a great movie and then most likely people will sit just because you made wind of that. And so there's nothing wrong with that, especially now a lot of people and companies are saving monies because they don't have to do the advertisement for the commercials, which is millions of dollars every 15 seconds. And the word of mouth, if you can do that for a company, they will pay you instead of the advertisement companies. So that's all network marketing means. But if you decide not to do this part, you don't have to. You know, I did a combination. I said I wanted my money to grow, and it did. It doubled in like 90 days. So it was over 220,000. And so I took some of it off, pay a few bills off, and then in other investments. You know, we always want to, I always say 22 streams of income, at least, so that you won't have to depend on one or two by themselves. So that makes everybody more sustainable, and that's a happy feeling. And so I'll X out of this, but that's pretty much what that is here to show you. But this is a great form. Some people are not familiar with what the Forex does. Well, in the back office of Novatech, they have a training video actually, and it's actually, I'm sorry, let me go right here. I meant to go there, the training academy. I'm sorry. Yeah, the training academy is 6 hours and 42 minutes of an introduction to binary options and the actual exchange and what it actually does. So the talk about how money was created, you know, what the exchange is all about, you know, 16 minutes, and then the gold standard, you know, the value of money, how that was interpreted, then the end of the gold standard, where they literally recalled everybody's gold.
That's where the fun began, part of it.
Exactly. And so then you have the academy on how to make the money. And so even if you do not do this, this will just be eyes, just wisdom on your radar. And so if you decide to go into it, then they have all types of courses out there. But at least this is one that you understand why Novatech is probably going to be around for some time. And so that's what I liked about it, because it helps you when people understand what's going on, because your money is probably being traded in something like this. If you have a 401k, and there's different variations of that in a retirement fund. And so that's what I like about this. So it kind of like informs you to be informed. Talks about the different strategy, the trends, trend lines when you're actually doing the trading. Like an inverted yield curve. When you see the two lines on the outside, how it's gradually increasing. And so, a lot of people don't know, but when the market is down, that's when most of the money is made. So just knowing that, and then having risk tolerance. If you could let a dollar bill burn in front of you without, going, you might have a little risk tolerance, but it's just standing the amount that you can lose. Do you, curl up, fetal position, suck your thumb, and have because you're trying to get it over it. Okay, that's just where you're at. But let's just try to get to a point where you get your risk tolerance up, because now you're doing homework. You're getting informed with such stuff like this, and so now you're more familiar with it. Now you get to make an informed decision as opposed to an emotional. And that's okay, because if a car is coming and you said, hey, get out of the way, and they get out the way, it serves a purpose. So we're not here to put anything down. We're just here to just say enhance wherever you're at, just put something on that to make it go further or higher. And so that's what I like about this part. And so you're informed on what the company is doing, and then they give you the opportunity. They said, hey, if you decide to do the trading and you turn pretty good, hey, we'll hire you here. And, you can do the PAM account, which is when you add money onto the actual platform.
So you can actually come in and just say, hey, I don't want to do anything but invest. But then later on, you may change your mind and say, hey, I want to try trading. And if you're good at it, basically, they give you an opportunity to come on and you can make more money doing that as well. Did I understand that correctly?
That's correct. That's very correct. So yeah, I like that part about it too. But like I came in, I'll give the example. This is just for educational purposes. But my account has about 61,000 in it right now. And so the reason I say that is just so you can understand, when you start this thing, you start it with what you can start it with. I had money laying around that was not doing anything. It was just sitting there. It would decline, all that stuff. And, you just get to the point where you say, okay, well, I have money over here. It's not doing anything. And you just take the assessment. And when you start looking at the beginning, I said I got in December the 4th, and the first one, December the 10th, 7 days later, it says bonuses on the 10th of the month. So you would go here on the ROI on return is $710. And then me, I like sharing a great thing with someone. They gave me an extra 316. So I would have been happy with this or that, because it goes on top of my principal. And if you go down, it starts to increase. This is week by week, for return on investment is 1,800. And I put part of that back in. Now I'm doing and sharing this with you for a reason, and it's coming up in a minute. And that's the second part of what Tobias was recommending me share with you today. So the commission, it's actually increasing. And so before I even heard of this program, if you see the RRs returning, it's now weekly 2778. And I put part of it back in, and then the commission was about 17. About 68, and about bonus with that. So that starts to increase. Now you'll see something right here. It's $541.53. Now I just got a loan because I do credit restoration and all that stuff. What happened was, I got a loan about about 3 months before I got into Novatech, $30,000. The amount of payment was $541. So as you can see with this platform, I said, you know what? I'm going to take out a week and just pay the loan with this. So then someone else was asking me about it, and they said, hey man, Dave, tell me about your other strategy. I said, well, the other strategy is basically OPM, using other people's money, whatever you want to call it. So the $30,000 loan costs $541. Now, here's the strategy. A lot of people have information, it's just implementation. You know, how do they get out of the head onto a platform or in somewhere where you can write or type it down, or it goes to some accounting system. So with that 541, can you see that, Tobias?
Yeah, you might want to make it a little bigger just so they can see it.
This one right here?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So it's a loan for the 30,000. So there's the David Howard, that's me. And we'll just rock up right here. Here's a $30,000 loan. The payments were $541.53. That's what you see right there. So how would I afford the loan? Doesn't matter. How much are you making with 30,000? Okay, now let's do these numbers right here. Can we see that Forex calculator?
Yep.
Okay, so let's put 30,000 in there. Well, here's how we do it. We're gonna put 25,000 of the 35,000 in this account. Okay, so that's 25,000, and we're gonna use the other 5 to put in an account that pays this loan for 10 months. So can you see this calculator going back and forth?
Yep.
Okay, so let's put the 5,000 that we're leaving out, and we're going to divide 541.53. So that equals approximately 9 months and probably like 10 days. So with that said, so now you're not worried about the payment being taken out of it. You don't have to disturb any of the balances on this Forex calculator. Now, let's go here. Let's calculate what that looks like. Okay, let's go from the 54 million in 5 years without being touched to just the projected value. So breakdown, there's the percentages right there. So 25,000 yields $3,416.33. So as you look at that, and then we get the calculator, this one. Can we see that, Tobias?
Yep.
Okay. So we put the 34, 16, and 33 cents. Oops, I'm sorry. That's plus 3. That equals 34.16. Now divide that by 4 weeks. That equals $854. So all I need is $854, and that will take care of that loan. So some people said, well, should I pay it off as soon as I can? Well, the answer, I would say no, but if you want to, that's fine, because it's 84 months in this payment scheme right here. They'll make over the course $15,000 on top of it. But are we worried about that? Because our money is growing faster than this. So now let's just go to that. 541.53 cents. Okay, so in 8 months, because the payments are pretty much paid up for 9 months. So let's say on the 10th month, this is what we're making. This is monthly. So that's roughly about 2,700, I'm sorry, per week. And then your trading balance is 89,000 as opposed to 25,000. Now you can say, you know what? I'm just gonna take some of this and just pay. Remember, this is the golden goose, that goose. So the bigger the goose gets, the bigger the eggs get, and that's weekly basis. And so if you do the math on this, you know, in 3 years, remember, the loan is for 84 months. So I believe that's 7 years. So we can still do the calculation, but I just wanted to just show you how numbers work. That's like 1.1 billion. That's very interesting. Man, the power of compounding. So remember, in the first year, you're making this. Second year, you're there. Third year, you're there. Fourth year, fifth year, sixth year, you had $30 million a month.
And
2.53. And I just say this for simple math purposes.
I want to point something out because Dave kind of skipped over the flip. So Dave, that $30,000 didn't come out of your pocket, right, brother?
No, did not.
It wouldn't happen to be that you had a good credit score and your credit file was together and you were able to go out and leverage that in order to make money doing this.
Correct.
See, this is some of the strategies that I be talking about on Clubhouse and in private and on YouTube. This is kind of some of the stuff that opportunities, and we have plenty of them when you get in with us and we start working together. This is what I'm trying to get you guys to see instead of taking his money, that $30,000, and going to buy a Dodge Charger or going on vacation or go get you some Balenciagas or the new watch. He just flipped that 25,000, right? He had 35,000. He took 10 to cover his payment for 9 months while he flipped his 25,000. That all came off of credit. That's why I say it's so important to do your credit and maintain it and understand how to use it. And that's what you're actually coming for. He does this as too with credit restoration and strategy. We're not financial advisors. This is for educational purposes only, entertainment purposes only. But this is some of the strategies and stuff that we talk about, especially like when we get you up to where you have a trust in everything and you can evaluate your trust. You know, it starts making a difference if you have different opportunities like this that you can grow your nest egg that you're going to be leaving towards for your kids. I just wanted to stop and point that out because I'm big on strategy, and everybody has their own different strategy and what your goals are, different ages, time that you need to be in the market. Somebody who's 50 years old is not going to invest like a 25-year-old. So I just kind of want to get you guys to understand. He skipped over real quick because we do it every day. But yeah, he flipped his credit. None of this came out of his pocket. He didn't have to go borrow the money from his mom and pay her back. He got this strictly off of his credit file. So I just wanted to point that out, Dave.
Definitely, man. That's what we look at. So yeah, and that's just it's nothing new. It's nothing new under the sun. It's just maybe how you would approach it. And so just with that, that's just something that you can work towards. Now, I wouldn't suggest just getting your credit together. You know, you put your starting balance in it so that you'll be able to understand the value of, you know, you're leaving, I'll just say some need this to see. You put the 25 in, that's just 5 years. And, you know, it comes out to an amount, which is basically double what we talked about. But the ideal is when you do it from a monthly standpoint, that's what it is. And so as it's starting to grow, you know, you begin to understand, oh, wow, you know, I started off with 2,500 and 6 months later, man, I made I doubled up that value, and I'm making on top of that, if I put nothing more in and I stopped here, I'm making $648.19 every month. And that just depends on what the interest rate is, the rate is on the money. And remember, the highest was 4.2 that I saw, and the lowest was just under 1%. And so that's what we're talking about here. And as your money's growing, now you're starting to get a little more savvier because now you're in the market, you're talking to different people that are in the group, and we want to be like they say a smartphone. You know, we don't want to be a dumb phone, or we want to be a smart group that um, opens the door for people to see and get questions answered. Like those of you that are listening, you know, you're in the group, and all of a sudden, you know, I mean, you should talk with someone, you know, because I know that 88% of what we talk about is basically on the same frequency, and that's what we want to be able to. That way, we can help a lot more people just to get more informed, so they can make, you know, great moves like they're already making, or moves that can add to enhance the moves that they are currently making. And that's what we're sharing this with you. And you know, the calculator, you can that's the calculatorsite.com. Look at the Forex, and then it just shows you different avenues that you can take. And so, you know, just going to close out, this is exactly what you would do once you start understanding how, you know, money works a little, and just every day, just put something in front of you, and you know, you'll be better than yesterday. You know, and that's the key, is to get better than yesterday, and just better versions of ourselves as humans. So yeah, and I'll just turn it back over to you, Tobias. And if you like me to do anything, just let me know.
Yeah. Um, it looks interesting, man. How would somebody get in contact with you? I'm gonna put all your information in the description as well. But if you want to just tell them, you know, all your contact information, if somebody wants to follow up with you and learn a little bit more about Novatech, how will they get a hold of you?
They can actually, man, you know, we're very simple with this. They can go to train one and then the number more. And I'll do that. Put that in the chat box. I'll put it in all caps.
And me and Dave been working together, you know, for man, we started in a redress. We were actually uh in a group teaching credit with Ron West. And we helped a lot of people, man, learned a very um large amount of information. And I already have been studying stuff. You know, I've been doing this stuff since I was 18, and I was able to learn more. I learn every day. Um, Especially like I take time, and I would encourage people. I know our lives are busy, but take yourself an hour a day to read. Start with one thing. There's no specific where to place to start, but I would suggest if your credit is not straight, your personal credit is not straight, I would start focusing on that. If you skip that, you're not going to have a foundation. So, personal credit will allow you to get your business credit together, will allow you to get your trust together. And during that time, you can grow with opportunities like this. And it's really a great opportunity that you guys have here to even hear this information. This is stuff that we talk about in the background and check out. And you got to do your due diligence. They have a paper trading platform, like she said, and you can check it out and make sure you study all the information that they're giving you. But looks good to me. I'm gonna take a look at it, and you know, we'll take it for a test drive and see what happens. And most importantly, don't put anything in there that you're not willing to lose, and that's for any investment platform. So that's why I say start with your personal credit and get that straight, so you can start a business and start cash flowing, so you have some expendable cash that you can put away that you don't need to touch. Or if you lose it, it's fine. If it grows, it's fine. Whatever that amount is for you. You know, Dave had a little bit more because Dave does credit, that he knows how to whip it up with the credit cards and everything. And you know, that's some of the stuff that we're trying to teach you guys. And I try to teach my clients when I do the credit restoration, um, how to move the money around on the credit card so it can grow and you can start something that brings in cash flow or invest in assets. You know, this is an asset. So I thank you for coming on, Dave. It was pretty dope, man.
Yeah.
I like what you got going, man, and it's more to Dave than just this. So maybe we'll get you back on, and we can go over some of the credit stuff as well, and the other 50 things that you got going on. We move rapid around here, man. Everybody's giving each other an opportunity to make money, and that's what it's about.
Yeah. So I just did in a type chat like that, email address, name.
Yeah, if you guys saw it, it popped up, but I'm gonna put it in the description as well, and we'll have a link for the Novatech when the video goes up, so you guys will be able to take a look at that and everything. But you got anything else to add on, Dave?
That's pretty much the start of whatever it is that what we're saying. It's just basically just want to put ourselves in a mental strength in our minds when it comes to stuff like this. It's just something that was hidden in various avatars, if you will, or you know places. But you know, it's opening up, man. You could learn a lot of stuff online, and then when you do some of the stuff, you're going to learn the lesson. And so, whatever you're learning, you know, remember you might get beat up, but just pick yourself, wipe it off, and then understanding that the lesson was being learned, and then you're actually a better version of yourself, and then you approach things more methodically. You know, you mix that two together. That and just hope and faith. All else it just goes to another level.
Yep. Life is a seminar. Bet on yourself. That's one of my sayings that I say. I'm always gonna take my money and bet on myself and do my due diligence and try to find different opportunities that I can increase my family's wealth. So if you're really truly doing it to leave something for someone else, then it makes a big difference on how things turn out for you.
Yeah, that's a great feel. You go with more go to rest with more comfort, I believe, when it's time to expire. But yeah, that's a good thing.
All right, Dave, man, I appreciate you coming out.
Yeah,
Thanks
man.
for taking the time with us today. And we'll have some more interviews for you, and we're going to follow up with Dave on some other stuff we're got going in the background as well. But until the next time, Tobias from Noematic Elevation, we out.
Peace.